Hello, my name is Gasali Adeyemo. Um, I'm fiber artist from southwest of Nigeria. Uh, you are watching The Messenger.
Previously on Messengers.
I love to write songs. So my strength is to write music, and I love to find artists to perform them.
Mixing business and music is good if you're in music for making money, but it's not good if you're in music for creativity because business suppresses your creativity.
Cobams. What is that?
My real name is Cubbins.
Cobams.
It's pronounced Cobams because most people have just gotten used to calling me Cobams, and I'm like, I ring an establishment and I go, hello, my name is Cubbins, and they go, who's speaking? And I go, my name is Cubbins, and they go, who's speaking? And I go, my name is Cobams, and they go, oh,
Not you.
Cobams. So, but my name's Cubbins is my real name.
What does it mean? Where is that from?
Would you agree that you promote, not alcoholism, but you promote drinking, because what you use is discarded material from alcohol, or from these bottles.
No, I think it's the other way around. The drinking promotes my work.
And I totally enjoyed the show. Why don't you join me again next week? Until then, I'm your host, Oyiza, and as they say in Ibibio land, Gadio.
Yeah, so we say welcome to Messengers, a show that introduces us to Africa's peoples, places, and issues. Oftentimes, we'll come across that one story that leaves an indelible mark on us. Here is one.
Beatrice Bee Arthur simply cannot be missed. She is the fashion designer and socialite who acquired her creative skills while growing up in Odessa, Ukraine. She holds a BA in sociology and Spanish from the University of Ghana and is fluent in 4 languages: Spanish, French, Russian, and English. She received the 2001 Cora Fashion Awards in Sun City, South Africa, and has done collaborative works with international photographers and curators. Her iconic design graces the cover of a book about Ghana's fashion culture by Christopher L. Richards. Her clothes were worn by model Felivian Ayariga and photographed by international photographer Dean Zulik. At 5'8", Felivian Ayariga causes quite a stir everywhere she goes. The Ghanaian-born model from the country's Upper East region exemplifies true beauty, inner and outer, with her classic African features, high cheekbones, and likable personality. Her journey from childhood to hitting the modeling circuit, where she burst into the scenes a few years ago, was not without its challenges. How did she swim through these pools of disappointments to become the darling of the Ghanaian runway? Outside fashion, Bee Arthur and Felivian continue to engage in advocacy and activism in several spaces such as gender development, domestic violence, peace, and conflict resolution. Today we're thrilled to welcome Beatrice Bee Arthur and model Felivian Ayariga to discuss Ghana's fashion culture. Hello, and welcome to the show. I am Oyiza Adaba. Today we'll be talking fashion in Ghana. Women designers and models and how they have revolutionized the Ghanaian fashion industry. We're drawing our inspiration from the book written by Professor Christopher Richards of the New York University. And it is my distinct pleasure to welcome Bee Arthur and Felivian to the show. You're welcome, ladies.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here with both of you.
So, Bee, I'm going to start with you as the designer before I come to Felivian, who had the pleasure of donning on this beautiful design. Take us through what led to this project. Give us a backstory of this cover, of making the cover of this book written by Professor Richards.
Thank you, Oyiza. So actually, it's incredible, but this project might not have become a reality if it weren't for my friendship and interpersonal connections with a Croatian doctor who was stationed here in Accra. She was actually part of the UN staff. And we became very friendly. She liked my style, she liked my vibe. And so once she left the country, I continued to maintain a relationship with her via social media. And she linked me to another very good friend of hers, who was an amazing photographer, who at the time was based in Seattle. So we started discussing online, what is there? Talk to me about the history of your country, the sites. And then when, the whole thing sort of started taking shape, now we said, okay, now we need the right model. Unbeknownst to Felivian, I had already set my mind that, okay, this is my girl. So I what I did was, I had already picked Felivian. I didn't tell him. I just sent him a bunch of photos and told him, what do you think? Like, pick the girl you like for this project. He didn't even have to think. He just looked at the pictures and he immediately pointed at her. And he said, this one, I want this bald girl.
So Felivian, so you're sitting on your own and minding your business and doing your business because you're a great model, and you get this call. So take us from where B left off and bring us to this actual photo shoot.
Okay, so this was in 2009 and I was very fresh. Like I was still under training. So we had this fashion show and B came and was like, okay, I want you to work in my fashion dresses. So I was excited because as a new model, you want to be there. You want to wear every designer's dress if they allow you to. And sometimes you even want to ask the designers to give you a dress to wear, even if you don't have any. So B was always, that day she was on me. She was good to me, and I was so excited to work for her. She actually told us how to, work for her dress. So I had to learn quickly what she told me to do. So I gave exactly what she needed. And ever since then, she'll call me, Felivian, are you free? Can you come for a photo shoot? I'll be like, oh my God.
So take us through who Felivian is and what your modeling journey is.
I never knew what modeling is. I was working as a secretary in a construction company, and I was so busy, always busy with my work. And one of my boss was like, hey, you could be a model. I was like, what is model? So I had no clue. I had to jump into the computer to do a research. I was like, oh my God, this is me. I like it. I've never seen anything like that before, but I've never had a dream or dreamt of being a model because in my society, it never occurred to us. Where I lived way back then is a Zongo area. You're an African, so you understand what Zongo is. This is a community where all tribes come together. So sometimes we have no idea what things go around us. Growing up was very difficult. I didn't know what to become in future. In school, I wasn't a lazy student, but I didn't actually know what to become as a student, like as growing up. When they told me about it, I had to first find Exopa. I searched for Exopa. I joined Exopa. I called them so many times that I really want to do this. This is my life, and I want to do it. I thought when you go there, they would just put you into it. I never knew you have to become an usher. You start from scratch. You start doing certain things. 7 people before you become even the actual model. So I was in a hurry, but I don't know what happened. Something I never had bald hair. I had long hair, but I always do hair weave on with glue underneath. I don't know why I like doing that, but one day I was removing the glue and the wig, and the glue took off my hair, like all the. I mean, you could see my scalp. So I was like, oh, let me go to the salon, cut all my hair. Just cut everything off, make it sakura. In Ghana, we call it sakura. Make it bald. So he did, and then I covered it. I was shy for the first time. It was my first time doing that. I went to Exopa studio, and we were doing casting. So I removed the scarf, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, what is this?" So I looked like Exopa Sima. So for the first time in Sima's life, I was, wow, look at that girl. What happened to her? And luckily, I don't know, but at that moment, I was the first girl to have such bold hair.
That was your moment, right, B? That was the moment, right?
That was the moment.
Yeah.
That was there.
Yes.
So that is how I think everybody saw me as, wow, she is it. That is it. The cheekbones and everything was perfect. Over here, it was my first time to be on a boat like this, but I told myself, hey, you are still on the test. Do your best. I was afraid, very much afraid. I don't know if anyone could see it in my face, but I was. I still remember this day that I was going to fall in, but Beatrice was like, you can do it. She has this beautiful inspiration voice that would tell you, you are not regretting this.
Yeah.
She has this, I don't know how she does it, but she makes it look like, hey, girl, you can do this.
And indeed. B, take us through the shoot. Thank you so much, Felivian, for staying on the journey. And I know that there were moments in between where you literally gave up on modeling, and we'll come to that later on when you're giving a word of advice to upcoming people. B, let's go back to you and this shoot. Take us through how it happened and some of the creative processes that came that accompanied this shoot.
Okay, so at the time, I had just separated from my business partner. So I'd been in the fashion industry or scene for quite some time. By 2009, I was like a seasoned designer, and I worked with another designer, but we decided to go our separate ways. So I actually had to, when I decided to do this shoot with my good friend Dean, I wanted only to choose outfits at the time that were fresh. Nothing. I was cutting. I was done with the past. No, there were my designs, all right, but I was turning a page in my life, in my career. So the whole point was to only choose designs that were fresh, designs that I had done since I no more worked with my previous colleague. So that already made it easy for me to choose, to be honest, because everything that wasn't something I had done between 2008 and 2009 was not going to be part of the shoot. And secondly, because I was working with a photographer who is an artist, and I had shown him pictures of the various forts and castles, it was kind of like we chose the outfits that we thought would work nicely considering the background. So that was also taken into consideration. Of course, the picture with the boat was something that happened spontaneously when we were there at the fishing harbor, which is absolutely one of my favorite pictures. It's wonderful. The one that Felivian was completely, she didn't look scared. She says she's scared. I think she's absolutely fearless. because of all the things I've ever asked any model to do, and most of them would be either hesitant or scared or the like, Felivian, scared or not scared, she has this thing, she was like, yeah, mommy, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'm like, bend a little bit more. Yes, I will. Climb on the roof. Yes.
Amazing.
I was like, this girl she's got a death wish or something.
But isn't that part of what it is like to be part of the traits of being a model, or the characteristics?
Yes.
What you've got to be daring, and if they
totally
be covered you'll be covered
totally
get that shot, right?
But the thing is, Ghanaian models, sadly, mostly are timid. They're scared. They're either scared of what their parents would say, what the neighbors would say, what their pastor would say, like, oh, I can't show, like, I don't know if I'm allowed to use the word nipples, I'm not allowed to show them, oh, I can't do this, oh, this is too transparent, and I never had this with Felivian. Like, it was awesome because you could ask her to wear anything, climb the roof, you jump off a cliff. So she was so much fun to work with. Another thing she's yet to tell you is she's a dancer. So because she's a dancer, she has this body language that is awesome. Her movements, it's really wonderful. Some of the, when she's changing positions, in the dress, it's almost like she's dancing. You see this fluidity, So for me, it was always a joy to work with her because she's a wild spirit, probably like myself. But when I look at a model, I also look at the person's aura. I look at the person's soul. I look at the person's spirit. There should be a connection. So I also knew Felivian's story, which will allow her to tell. Felivian has an amazing story. Some of it is not also very uncomfortable.
Felivian, you've been quiet for a minute, so let's come back to you and this amazing story of yours and fitting into not just your beautiful aspect, but fitting into your life story, fitting into this book cover. So take it from there and tell us a little bit of some of the things that you have overcome in the last few years and really what this means to you.
I am very hyper from my childhood. I wouldn't say, but let me just say, because I'm grown up now, my parents never liked me so much. My parents are separated, so I live with my dad. It's not easy. I've been tortured with that, but lucky for me, I do forget sometimes and move on with life. Even with the pain that I have, I'm able to be in pain and still act. That is how I have become. Like since childhood, I can be in pain severely, but I will still do whatever they ask me to do. I don't see it as a punishment. I see it as a gift. I still be in pain and I can still do whatever I can do. So yes, I've been tortured as a child and still tortured. It's not comfortable, but it's good to say it so you will understand. This comes from my own family, abuse, personal, this is where I come in with problems with I don't have money for school fees or probably with problem with the feeding fee. So I asked my uncle, can you help me? My uncle would then tell me, you know what, meet me in a hotel after I have sex with you. I would give you what you need. And I felt like, oh my God, what is wrong with this man? I know in school they tell us all this about family affairs. You can't have sex with your uncle or your father, is bad. So I have this in me. So I'm like, oh no. So he even tell me when I am asleep, because when I sleep very deep. And if you touch me, I don't see. I don't know. I don't know. I know things like this happen to some people, and it's there. It's real. You can sleep and someone will be touching you and you will not even feel like someone is touching you, or they've even taken you away from somewhere. That is how deep I sleep. So my uncle would then tell me, you know what, if you don't want to have sex with me, I have fingered you before. I'm like, oh my God. I told this to my parents, but they said I'm a liar. So I told my mom, my biological mom, about it. She came down from the north and blasted my uncle that, hey, if you don't know you touched my girl, I would deal with you. So my dad was like, why did I tell my mom? And I said, I told you guys and you didn't believe me. It looks like I'm the liar here. So I wanted someone to believe in me and, to know what I am going through. I can't just leave him to touch me. I won't lie to you. At the age of 13, I went to the beach, Labadi Beach, to go and drown myself. Just because I was in a serious bad situation, like a half time. It was because my stepmother told me something that it wasn't true. Like, I'm always being pushed to the wall so hard. So it was so hard for me at that moment. So being a child, I was never happy until I am grown to when I became a model, I became the happiest person alive.
What kind of advice you give to that little girl that is being molested, or that little boy that is being whose dreams are being stifled? What would you say to them?
First of all, I would say it's not going to be easy because the world will be against you. The world. But because the world is your parent, that is as a growing child. The world is your parents, nobody else, not the media, not the police, but you. That is what you understand, your world. But don't forget, when you're growing up, this world, these two worlds will leave you. You get to meet other people and you'll be like, oh my God, I should have gone to do something. I should have reported it to the police. But I felt like I'm a scared person. I never forgot to pray. I put prayers and I said, God, you know what? I know I can't die because I tried to go kill myself, and I even forgot I'm going to kill myself. But help me out. The children, or the young children, go to the police. Tell the police your story. I think it is good.
Tell us what the future has in store for you, because I'm going to hold you to this. I'll be having conversations with you a few years down the line. I'll be like, oh, Felivian, do you remember you told me this and you told me that this is what we're going to do? So tell me about your future. Tell me what you want to do and, where you want to see yourself.
Thank you for this opportunity again. Thank you. So when I was young, I said I always loved to take care of children. Not because of what happened to me, but I've always naturally loved to take care of children and elderly people. As I am sitting with you now, I am having a 78-year-old man that I'm taking care of, and he supports me, and I help him, I cook for him, I care, and I have kids coming in, and soon I'll be doing my project, which is I'm not certain with it because since 2013 I've been thinking about it, but things happen to me, so I break down and I come back to life. I'm grateful. So in a couple of years I would like to host children, taking care of sports, doing sports with them, acting, singing, talent, skills development center where I can have these children to do such things, and could be designers as well. But I haven't thought of being a designer because I tried to go to a design school, but I couldn't do anything. I have done it twice, but it's not for me. Probably it's just the body doing the job as a model, but not as a designer. Yeah, so
good. I think you're Bee's muse. So, did the book do Ghanaian fashion justice?
Well, yes. You see, because Professor Richards, I think he wasn't trying to cover every aspect of Ghanaian fashion. He specifically narrowed it down to cosmopolitanism, and what was the title? And nationalism and symbolism, something along those lines. If I'm getting it right. So he picked a few designers who resonated with him, and I think that what was really fair, as opposed to some other people who've written books, one of which actually features me, and some of these books sadly have plagiarized his work, but I'll leave him to talk about that when you interview him, is that he was constantly sending me either questionnaires or sending me the material that he's written for me to read through and edit if something was not right. So he worked, I'm assuming that he did that with each and every designer. So he was quite fair. So I wouldn't know how the other designers feel about what he's written about them, but I personally think that what he's written is a pretty fair. I endorsed what he wrote.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been such a pleasure. It's been so inspiring, honestly. And like I said, we'll do my best to continue to push these are the type of stories that we want people to hear. Not everyday things that occur, but things that would actually encourage and change lives. So it's great. It's really nice. Thank you again, ladies.
Thank you so much.
And we'll see you next time.
See you next time. I love you both. Bye bye.
Thank you for watching Messengers. I hope you have been inspired, picked up a lesson or two, as I have. And until next time, we'll bring you another great guest. I'm Oyiza Adaba. See you next time.
In Africa, is either you love it or you hate it. There's no middle. You have to come back. Like, you have to love the people, or you just can't do it. You're not built for it.